The Science of Reading by Maddie Milani. The power of reading. Understanding literacy and how it controls our lives is a powerful concept. Through the science of reading, educators are taught new and old concepts proven by research, data, and now brain scans that reading is a science, and that teaching it is also a science. What we have to ask ourselves is, what is reading? How does reading develop? And why is there such a gap in reading? Learning to read is relatively a lengthy process that begins very early in development, before children even enter their formative school years. If children are not exposed to the right quantity or quality of language in those early years, their literacy interactions will suffer. These are the foundational years for preschool-age children. If students don't receive these reading foundations, they'll either be foundations that are weak or never built at all. Some say that this can be linked to a child's environment, creating environmental disadvantages. Now, this is true to some degree, and many sociologists would agree. However, the science of reading is implemented correctly and proficiently. It can teach anyone to read, no matter their culture or economic background. What is the science of reading? Well, according to The Science of Reading, an overview by Dr. Jan Hosbrook, teachers, when well informed and trained, can conduct brain surgery by instruction. We essentially can rewrite the brain using the science of reading. What to ask yourself when students are struggling to read? Who might need the extra assistance? What kind of help do they need? And is the work working? She also mentions that active engagement is key. Using multimodalities like see it, hear it, say it, write it multiple times will increase reading comprehension. The science of reading is phonological awareness, phonics, fluency, and vocabulary, which, once learned, all leads to comprehension. Reading theories, the simple view of reading, brought forth some really interesting insights to how teachers feel about the science of reading. This material is trying to aid educators in understanding that there is a formula, a mathematical formula to reading, and when followed, it creates a recipe for success. Another theoretical model, Scarborough's reading rope, created by Hollis Scarborough. This groundbreaking infographic is widely used to teach educators how to teach their students how to be efficient readers. This infographic is worth 1,000 words. For someone who is responsible for teaching young minds yet struggles with comprehension and processing, I can appreciate this visual aid. The 4-part mental processor. This system is where information about print is stored. Research shows that fluent readers' reading allows readers to interact with text on a higher level. Phonological processor equals speech sound awareness. Orthographic processor is the letter and letter pattern recognition. Meaning and context processors are language and comprehension, and angular gyrus sound symbol associations. The job of the phonological processor is to perceive, remember, interpret, and produce sounds, all of which are very important to the overall language system. Airy's model of phases of learning to read. Pre-alphabetic phase, where children have a lack of connection between letters, words, and their meanings. Partial alphabetic phase, the reader is developing, making some connections, can recognize some letters, and attempts to guess at the pronunciation. Next, the full alphabetic phase is where the reader now understands the alphabetic the alphabet and decoding. The last phase is called consolidated alphabetic, and in this final phase, with continued practice, the reader has mastered this scientific reading model and is a fluent reader. It is often assumed that these stages happen based on age and grade level, which is true in today's society where all children receive an education, but what I liked about these 4 stages of methodology was that anyone, no matter their age or grade level, could learn to read using these stages. Phonological awareness. According to Arkansas RISE, phonological awareness is the ability to notice the sound structure of spoken words. Basic phonological awareness skills include phoneme blending and segmentation and are generally mastered by most students by the end of the 1st grade. According to the Arkansas Department of Education, the combination of explicit phonics and phonological training for all students in kindergarten and 1st grade provides far greater results in word-level reading skills than any other teaching practice that has been studied. Phonological awareness is needed for reading. Phonics. According to the Arkansas RISE, a Science of Reading initiative created and implemented by Arkansas Department of Education, phonics is a system for approaching reading that focuses on the relationship between letters and sounds. Phonics is a method of teaching people to read. They do this by connecting how letters and symbols sound. Phonics help people to understand that the words in the alphabet are groups of letters that produce sounds, and often many sounds like vowels make multiple sounds. When teaching phonics, it has to move from letter-sound correspondence to graphemes, syllables, and morphemes, according to the Arkansas Department of Education. What is fluency? Fluency is the ability to read text quickly, accurately, and with proper expression. Fluency provides a bridge between word recognition and comprehension. Fluent readers read aloud effortlessly and with expression. They are able to recognize words and comprehend at the same time. Some ways to teach fluency are repetition, paired reading, and reader's theater. Vocabulary. According to the Arkansas Department of Education, vocabulary is the knowledge of words and word meanings. Vocabulary is the glue that holds stories, ideas, and content together, making reading comprehension possible for children. A person's vocabulary is their very own personal word vault. It's one's learned and chosen words in which to speak, read, write, and communicate with others. One's vocabulary is a powerful tool. Interesting fact, children's vocabularies are linked to their cultural and economic backgrounds. Code emphasis versus meaning emphasis. According to Arkansas Department of Education, by the end of the 1st grade, students are taught by code-based approach. These students score higher on tests of reading comprehension than students that were taught with just a meaning-based approach. In the article, The Effects of Code and Meaning Emphasis Approaches in Beginning Reading for Students with Mild Disabilities, these 2 ways of teaching students to read can be beneficial for students with disabilities as opposed to other traditional methods of teaching students to read. A code emphasis approach to early reading skills requires students to learn a specific code or set of letters and words. This code is in a controlled setting where they are chosen specifically by the teacher or lesson. Now, meaning emphasis, on the other hand, encourages the use of the whole word reading. Next, orthographic mapping. Orthographic mapping is the process competent readers use to store written words, so in the future readers can quickly recall these words automatically. In Kilpatrick's Annals of Research suggests that students who need interventions must be taught using phonemic awareness. This includes not only blending and segmenting, but also phoneme manipulation, such as deleting, adding, substituting, or revising phonemes. Teaching and reinforcing phonics skills and decoding, providing authentic literature so students can practice reading that is connected to the text. In conclusion, educators must have an understanding of the science of reading as well as the in-depth understanding of phonics and phonemic awareness to support beginning readers. The science of reading has been around for years, yet skeptical educators struggle to see the value in it. This must change. The literacy gaps in education are only increasing. Our school district is working with the Arkansas Department of Education and taking Arkansas Rise, an 18-hour professional development course, so we can learn these new methods of instruction and have a better understanding of how to help our students excel at reading. Through programs like Arkansas Rise, skeptical educators can now see firsthand the benefits to the scientific research on reading and be trained on how to implement a program that works for reading. Thank you.